Hello, everybody, and welcome to Homebrew Hunts. Today we have a new player. Say hello.
Hello.
Pretty place.
Yep.
Howdy,
Okay,
but
so
I'm playing.
oh right, yes. Can you please explain your character?
Yeah, Fawn is a 16-year-old human rogue who is currently with the Golden Brook Circus.
Yep, and
Ah,
things are about to get good with that. But first,
Yes.
but first,
I will.
we
I
we
will.
do have to wind back the clock quite a bit for a little bit, all the way back to Orange Tart, this one of the larger cities within the Eldritch Blasted Bayou, where Nolan was left behind by everybody. He's,
a lot of chaos.
yep.
Also, there is a little change to Nolan a little bit according to his race, but I'm gonna keep his character sheet the way it is.
All right. But anyways, as
But he is half kitsune, hence the skin color being more normal than blue.
all right. Oh, by the way, but as right, which is a pretty good, interesting thing if you really think about it. But let's get back to the thing. I would say your character would have. What exactly would your character would have known when you noticed that not only Sapphire but also your student had gone missing?
God damn it. They're lucky I have a heightened sense of smell.
And that dragon constantly smells as if they've been dunked in honey.
Mostly because they have been.
Oh yes, it has happened. But unfortunately, even with your strong sniffer, it was difficult to find them. Right up until there was until a couple days later, where there was a very big commotion. By the time you reached over there, everything had cleared out. Rangers were already cuffing people, and most of the people were already taken to the station. Only very few left to actually talk to. There was just a few behind writing down some stuff. Would you like to speak to any of them?
May I ask what happened here?
Uh, an elf turns around, looks at you, and readjusts his cowboy hat. Yo, there? Just nothing much. There was an illegal auction that was going on, and it seems that a couple of participants got a little bit too rowdy. Thankfully, thankfully, we were able to catch most of the people involved in this. We weren't able to catch the ones that had actually started this. Very few actual descriptions. Somehow, good thing we caught it too. This
Was
place
a
was filled
little
with nothing but the.
dragon creature with them by chance?
No, but from the records and from a couple of our witnesses and a couple confessions, we have a record of a bronze dragon egg being stolen from a location not far from here. That's the only dragon that's been on record recently.
Hmm.
All right then. So
Could you perhaps point me in that direction?
I'm afraid that place is already under control now, so you won't get much out of there. Almost all the items were confiscated.
Hmm. I'm looking for a group of people.
All right, can you give me the description?
A little pseudo dragon
One pseudo dragon.
and guy with black hair with fluffy ears and tail.
Ears and tail. Any others?
a guy with a rather unique looking gun.
A unique looking gun. Any other descriptions, like his race, height, name? Anything?
Dragonborn.
Dragonborn? Alright, is that all?
From what I can remember.
Alright. Alright, I'll run it by everyone and see if we can get any matches. In the meantime, stay safe. And you might want to get a good night's rest. It's starting to get a bit dark, and with that break-in we had a while back, I would be careful, and I'll probably be heading home about now. But if you're just visiting,
I
there's a
can
local
blend
hotel
in
not
easy
far from
enough.
here. He points to one of the. He points to a couple. He says a couple streets over that there's a pretty nice inn. It's a little pricey, but it's more for the upper class.
I'll take a look.
Alright, when you head over there, the place is very fancy. Polished wood, stone columns. 5 gold coins for a room. For one night.
What the fuck? That's highway robbery.
Okay. I'd
So
rather
do you
sleep on the fucking dirt.
so do you pay it?
I don't know. Would you like to pay that?
I don't think I have the money to.
Ah. Well, the inn that you met the Dragonborn at would be cheaper and would probably be up more your alley, at least money wise. It is in the middle district. Would you like to go there instead?
Sure.
Alright then. There you go with 1 silver a night. Still a bit high, but for good reason. Great food, great protection. For a person with a little extra money to spend, this place would be fantastic. Would this be good for you?
Let me just check how much I have. Inventory.
I did kind of empty them out earlier. But we have.
because you drank a whole bunch of mead.
It was honey.
It was not honey, it was mead.
It was special honey.
They put 1 gold coin on the counter for a night.
So you get 9 back. 9 silver.
Right. The bartender slides it to you and say, hope you have a good night's rest. You can stay in room 5.
Thank you.
Hold on, I'm so sorry. I'll be right back.
I hear kitty. Bastards they are. Yeah.
I figured out how to stop mine from being a dirty little bastard. I just took the lid off of the cat litter. He didn't like the lid.
Oh, trust me. Trust me, my cat would not react to that at fucking all. Considering he pissed in those Swiffer wipes before.
Your cat is a gremlin. A disgusting little gremlin.
Yes.
But I have a soppy little angel cuddled up to me right now.
Compared to mine, at least.
All we have are geriatric chihuahuas.
Oh, I used to have one that was blind, deaf, and basically only had one tooth left.
Yeah, the one that we raised passed away last year, and then we have one right now who is a pain to say the least. She was my great grandma's, and now she's ours, and she's really on her last legs, man.
Yeah. It was a second ago. Dogs are a lot better than cats.
Stop letting me escape. What does it want?
These dogs don't piss and shit on you while you're fucking awake. And you just notice, because, oh hey, what's that warm feeling on my... God damn it! I'm sorry, I really...
Sorry about that. I just had to unload something real quick. Anyways,
It's alright.
Alright then, as the day awakens, you hear a slight commotion downstairs. Do you go down and investigate?
What do I hear?
You hear a large commotion, mostly somebody asking for... Well, that part's pretty muffled. You're just able to make out somebody asking for someone.
I go and look.
You see that they are asking for you. Or at least you hear.
Oh god, here we go.
So, do you acknowledge it?
Yes.
The person in an arachnid-like person, mostly humanoid, but with two sets of smaller eyes above their farther eyes, and two sets of longer legs, like spider leg-like things protruding from their back. They walk up to you and says, "Hello there. You wouldn't have to be the person who requested a missing persons report involving a pseudo dragon, a a human variant, fluffy tail and ears, and a dragonborn with a unique gun. Would you?"
I did, but they're not exactly missing. They kind of left me behind.
Well, we need you to answer some questions. Would you please come with me?
Oh god, what did they do?
I'm afraid I can't disclose that right here, but don't worry. Our caravan is just outside. All you do is step in, and we'll ask you the questions.
Very
Do you
well.
follow him?
Don't listen to him. Are you into this? It's a trap.
He does.
All right. You follow the arachnid into the van. Caravan. It's very airtight, to where no sound will actually get out. It looks normal from the outside. It's obviously used for more discreet operations, but today it's currently under use by more than a couple things, so they had to improvise. You see a warforged in front of you with what looks to be almost barricades for arms. The warforged says for you to take a seat. Do you?
Anything suspicious about the seat?
No, it's wooden. That's it. No runes, no magic, no nothing.
I sit.
The Warforged pulls out a photo of everyone you just described, along with a red-skinned tiefling with holding two revolvers. Are these all of them seem to be in a more aggressive state? Are these your companions?
They've gotten themselves in trouble, haven't they?
He then explains how they were caught with multiple large amounts of illegal contraband, inc- including rare species eggs, including several phoenix eggs, along with more than a couple rare artifacts and items. They had fled into the woods and have not been found since. Unfortunately, their jurisdiction falls short of where they need to search. They're currently asking for the guy upstairs, so to speak, to give them permission, although it does usually take a little bit. So they are asking you if you can answer anything else, such as if they have any violent history, do they have any connection to previous organizations, and so on and so forth.
For one, the one with fluffy ears with the pseudo dragon? No, they are not violent. I am unaware of the Dragonborn's history, say, but the gun is somewhat tied to it. The pseudo dragon is a familiar of my student who is the one with fluffy ears. They have no violent history and most likely would have done it under self-preservation, defense, or even defense of the creature inside those eggs. I am not sure upon the motive of the Dragonborn, however.
I see. Thank you. Thank you for the information you have given us. He also provided the general direction on which way they had went, in case you knew anything over there that they might go toward. They head to ground. They head to
Unless
a.
there's a portal to Otherworld, then no.
I see.
And considering this area is rather deserty, I'd highly doubt it.
I see.
You need a large body of water and it to be dark and night to get there. Chances are, they picked a random direction and ran.
Alright. Thank you for the information. You may leave now, as he opens the door. And
Nolan does leave.
alright, you do. Alright, you do remember when you entered the city of Map. They seem to have head toward a town known as the Graveyard. Do you go?
Was this morning when the comeuppance happened? The commotion?
Yes.
I do go.
Well, more specifically, it was the previous night, but not that long ago.
After getting a night's rest, I do head in that direction.
Alright then. In the meantime, we're gonna switch over to our current players. Everyone else is still asleep, but the sun is soon rising, and a little bit of sunshine shines right into old Sapphire's eyes, waking Sapphire up.
I should just grumbly plop out of the bed.
You weren't in a bed. You were currently sleeping outside the gate to the graveyard, a town that you had gone to after escaping the guards that were following you.
Just kind of grumbly go ooze over. towards the door. And it tries to move it a bit to see if it's open yet.
You do? It does give a little, but once you do that, it does actually. You do hear a opening as two skeletons open the door and looking at you.
Is the place open yet?
They nod.
I'm yeah. And just starts waddling in. Yeah. Idle Draco noises.
They see your companions and proceed, and since they are very, very much essentially blacked out, they take them over to their local inn, pay their fee, and put them rest in a couple of their coffins. That's just what they use as beds.
I didn't hear him say you could do that. This is
The
done.
the bartender, a Frankenstein-looking lady, simply shrugs and says, "Well, that's what we sleep in. It's not that. It can actually be pretty comfy if you get it right."
I, uh, okay.
All right then.
Uh,
So,
how
okay. So
much
the
is
town. Oh no, oh no, little fella, the guards paid for the guards paid for your friends. They seemed a bit knocked out from the journey. It happens from time to time. Since we don't open till since the whole town is closed until morning.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome, little fella. But anyways, you should probably get going. Maybe go around town. There's plenty of stuff to see.
Plenty of people to bamboos. And I just start kind of flying low, like just above the land height. Eat, and just looking at the people and looking around, seeing what there is to do.
Just about everyone you see is some form of undead. More Frankenstein style, zombie, you even see two liches, skeletons, and such. It seems like everyone in this town is the undead. Well, all except for a few. You see some traders that are humans, dwarves, even a couple blacksmiths that seem to be training here under a large, muscular skeleton. Somehow. As in somehow a skeleton is muscular.
Are we sure we're not in the Hades universe?
I'm sorry. It's that paired with Sapphire's like toddling around and like I need people to bamboozle. This is wonderful.
I'm glad you like our humor.
Time to bamboozle people out their money.
Alright then. You see, there is actually a
Good
small
job, Sapphire.
casino. There is actually a small casino.
I leave for a moment and all hell breaks loose. Oh yes, open the gates of Tartarus, why don't you? Make it even more maddening. Come on, set free fucking Kratos or whatever the fuck. Kronos. Go on, set it free.
Why would I freak Kratos?
To be fair, you already released something.
What?
Oh, fucking crazy.
Anyways, there is actually a decent sized casino. You can win some money at if you're daring enough.
Oh my god. No, Sapphire, no.
Sapphire, yes.
No.
Sapphire, yes.
No.
Sapphire's gonna go into the casino.
A muck stands in front of the door. A muck is sort of like a cross
Okay.
between an undead and skeleton. Sort of like an extremely rotted corpse, to where limbs can fall off but no blood will pool. Essentially just a
Oh,
skin,
lovely. We have
muscle,
a Dullahan situation. Just the head isn't rolling.
as
Interesting.
the muck
No, I
the
will not
muck
give the
stands in
full
front of you and
description of the
says
Dullahan because it's gross.
the muck stands in front of you and says, "You seem a little young to be in a casino. How old are
You
you,
seem,
anyways?"
you seem a little old to be at a casino. And yet
You
we
don't
are.
know much about casinos, do you?
They're a place where people, usually dumb people, go to spend their money trying to get more money and don't get money because they're dumb.
Yeah, that's just about it. But the real question is, why are you here?
Same reason why I guess everyone else is. Make some money.
He just looks at you with
Is
the eyes of,
Constance
this
even
guy
old
is...
enough to gamble?
Yeah. He just steps aside and lets you in. The place is filled with dozens of tables, a few slot machines. There's about a good amount of tables playing poker, a couple roulette, and a couple different card games along with slots. What do you think about playing?
Hold on. I feel like I'm out of place here. So I'm simply gonna use minor illusion on myself to make it look like I have pimples on.
Do you have two what?
That I have pimp clothes on. Is golden chain. Like I think 80s pimp.
Ah, got it. So what do you go first? One of the mini card tables, one of the roulette tables, a slot machine.
I'm first gonna check if my minor illusion stays while I'm near the card table.
All right then. You see they're playing the all-time classic game, poker.
Oh yeah, definitely. But I'm first gonna see just by maybe making someone stay a little bit better by changing one of their cards looks to from like no pairs to maybe one pair of twos, and see if it actually does affect it.
I don't actually know.
I do know poker rules.
Basically polymorph, but with nothing but illusions.
Yeah, it's just an illusion spell, so it's not really there.
You got jeans to wear to church tomorrow?
It just makes it look like it's something
Where?
else.
Don't shush me. Where? I want them.
All right. You see that there are currently in the middle of the game, although you can sit down.
Did the minor illusion work on the card?
No, it did not. These cards are made with a special type of ink to where they can't use magic. Almost all cards are printed with them nowadays. Way too many
You
cheaters.
can't dupe it.
God damn it! Oh, I can do something else.
Oh,
I can do something else.
Dargax, how long does it take for Nolan to actually make it there?
By the time that Sapphire either somehow makes himself rich or gets kicked out of the casino.
Probably both, because I'm gonna pretend like I got dealt some cards. I've been there the whole time. Just with not as many chips. Like I'm already basically all in. Mine is a chip, and then I'm just kind of holding up a quote unquote hand of cards.
On, so you're saying you are essentially going to say, yeah, I've been here the entire time.
Well, I'm small and easily missed amongst these big people. Yes.
They all just sort of look at each other and don't really pay you any mind. Only the dude dealing cards, only the dude dealing his cards, which is a skeleton, with a with seemingly a third eye. Well, not really much of an eye. More like a third hole in his head where a green light is spilling out along with two other eyes. Just eyes you down and simply lets you play. After all, it doesn't seem like you'd be doing anything. You didn't see anybody else's cards.
Yeah. So I constantly make myself like I have some high rolling cards, minus like one hand to intentionally ooze a whole bunch, only to bet even more so, like double or nothing. Basically, make it more enticing. Like, oh shit, he's going all in. Oh shit, he has bad hand. Double or nothing. Fucking double or nothing. Puts all the rest of it. Roll flash.
You do manage to clear out the first table, although the second one seems to catch your eye, seems a bit more difficult. Do you join them?
I first sit there.
Again, most of the people are undead, two zombies, a skeleton, and a lich. Well, you're pretty sure it's a lich. Long robes, shadowy face. But along with a single human, more ragged, definitely is either a wanderer or a bandit. Kind of hard to tell. Anyways,
Yeah.
the game.
This time I wait till the first round with them is done, and I actually do get handed cards. That way, it's like, yeah, I'm joining. I was just over there.
All right then. All right, you get dealt in, and you dealt a pretty good set of cards.
Any duds?
Yeah. Like three of the cards are duds, but two of them do have potential.
Okay. And seeing that three of them are duds, I'm gonna try to do a little sleight of hand. I'm gonna try to use my tail to switch in front of me like I'm trying to hide the look of, oh yeah, these are, you know what, they're not that bad of cards. I'm gonna keep it, but also blocking a little bit of sight so I could, hide two cards behind two other cards and use minor illusion to replace those two cards with two actual good cards, like instead of like basically get rid of a red three of hearts.
But the minor illusion does not work.
It's not putting on the cards, it's making new ones.
But then you'd have to be suspicious because now you have two extra cards, while everyone else has the same amount of cards. Everyone has dealt the same amount of cards.
The cards behind the other cards.
All right, roll me sleight of hand.
Fuck yeah! 13 plus 4, that is 17.
All right.
I raise 3 silver. Just 3 silver.
The others raise 3 silver as well, except for the more ragged man who does an extra silver than you.
I check it, which is basically just put up to the mount, and then we just keep gambling.
You are worrying, good sir.
Hashtag
Me.
Right, you do end up doing. Alright, you do end up doing pretty well, and by the time you're close to winning, you see, well, something's glowing in front of you.
I pull my cards back and look at the glowing thing.
It is a blue glowing hand in front of you, in like hand position of stop, sort of like palm out. I'm afraid that you are no longer welcome at this table.
I put down the card, just like, wow, gonna stop me from making it big. Okay.
I'm stopping you from cheating, sir.
Said anything about cheating. I just start walking away. Just carrying a fucking armful of chips.
I'm assuming he got kicked out.
Of that table.
Yeah, of that table, along with most of the other card games. But the slots and roulette tables, you can't really cheat at unless you're in with the dealer. I think.
There's other ways of cheating them.
Alright, so...
Like
oh, by the way, there is actually 2 other games that I had forgotten to mention. One of them is Bug Royale, and the other are known as the Flock Fights.
I would like to look at the flock fights just to see what the fuck they are.
Flock Fights. They're essentially just chicken fights. They're essentially just chicken fights. Chickens still exist in this world and are widely sourced, along with chicken fighting, as male roosters are pitted up against each other. The first one to either kill its opponent or knock the opponent off the ground unable to get up for more than 2 seconds is the winner.
So less murderous. Got it.
They try to. Some of these chickens can be very valuable, and plus this is one of the more higher end ones, so they really don't want a star up rooster to just drop dead from a newcomer.
Yeah, I'm not.
From rotisserie to wrestler.
Rotisserie and wrestler, that's good. Alright, so would you like to participate? There is some complimentary chickens you can pick.
Yeah, no. I'm gonna stop it while I have. While I'm making it big. And
Alright, there's also Bug Royale, where multiple different bugs are pitted up against each other. Best part is you don't even have to make them to fight. They're often so aggressive that they literally try to fight the only other thing there, which is the other bug.
Hey.
And the best part, all you really need to say is that you bet like 5 copper, you bet 10 copper, and stuff like that, and well, it just applies.
And see how it goes. Yeah. I'm not gonna put my hand in chance. That's for the suckers. I'm gonna stop while I have it, since I'm already being kicked out of most of the things here. And how much did I make?
Let's see, how much did you started with?
I only had like 6 silver, but I played a lot of games, as many as I basically could.
I would say that you have 10 gold by now.
Hey, recouping.
But you do see one that seems to entice you. Very simple, very easy, a simple as can be game. Watch
That seems
the
to
eyes.
be... Watch
Notice,
the what?
Watch the stone. It's pretty simple. A person has 3 cups. A stone is placed under the cup. As the cups get swished around, the stone may change here and there. And if you pick the stone right, you can have the reward.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
of a solid 100 gold.
Yeah, I know the trick to this one, but you know what? I'm gonna bet. But it's I want to watch his stuff and wait.
Alright then, you see as people very cocky come in and very disappointed come out, one after another, always picking the wrong one.
Even while I can see it looks very like, yeah, they would have picked the right one.
Oh no, they almost always pick the wrong one because of a simple reason. He's not using any type of magic. He's just using a very good sleight of hand.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
If you
I knew
if you were
this.
to, by the way, you would see this if you would roll me on. What's your passive perception? Or would you like to use a perception check?
Let me look at my passive perception before I say anything. Because if I say something and then my passive is actually way better than I think it is, I'm gonna look like a dumbass. Well, yeah, I'm gonna roll perception. There's no way around. I'm rolling fucking perception.
Okie
Wait, I
dokie.
haven't.
Okay, so roll one perception check.
Well, that ain't the best. Ain't the worst. I got a. I got 17.
Alright, you do notice that the man, when changing the cup, slips the stone into his large sleeves before the cup settle.
Just like, hey,
Hmm?
you know what? I'll bet on it.
You
I'll
you
match you band for band. I know we're gonna put that. I know which cup of these have it.
Alright then, little fella, come up. And he gestures to the seat in front of you. In
Which
front of him.
I sit down and watch.
He brings out an
Hey,
entire new marble, one a bright purple. He puts it under one of the cups and begins changing it up as fast as can be. Left,
you
right,
want me to
middle,
roll
right,
one?
middle, left, right, middle, left, left, middle, right. Back and forth as each cup swayed back and forth. Please roll me a perception check.
Thank God I have advantage when it comes to sight and hearing. Okay, that's good. Let's see if it's any better. Oh, you cocked motherfucker. I really wish it wasn't. Never mind, I got that wish. It was cocked between the 14 and the D20. I rolled again and got the natural 20, so 21.
Ooh, nice.
It was going to be either an 18 or natural 20. So let's go! Just like,
Alright then. You clear as day see him push the stone into his sleeve. But weirdly enough, you see also tons of other, well, quite a bit of other stones inside his sleeves.
wait a minute. They're loose stones, right?
Yes.
Right before the last one, can I do a little bit of mold earth to make 3 of those purple ones land underneath that cup?
Under one specific cup or all the cups?
Just the one specific cup that he picked up and put down last.
Got
Like,
it.
it would have gone into the sleeve, came out with 3.
Alright then. Please roll.
Just
Let's see. Hold on, what would you roll?
like,
Mold earth.
because this was sleight of hand of trying to put it back in.
Yes, that.
$21! 16 plus 5.
You were able to do completely As the cups slowly stop, he raises his hands and says, "Now which one has the purple stone?"
Hmm. You know, it's always so hard to see, but this is my best tried and true method. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. And then lifts up the one with the 3 stones underneath it.
As you do that, as you do the counting thing, plenty of them laugh, and leave the man in front of you as he says, "You know you're gonna need something a bit better than," as you lift the final cup. He sees us like, "What?" And so is the rest of everybody else. They say cheating, magic, and stuff like that, but their thoughts are quickly quelled down. Along with specific items, this place actually dampens magic to where it's almost unusable. So it couldn't have been magic.
I just smile smugly.
He's just struck as he's just wondering how the crap did that happen.
So, about that gold.
You just see him clench his teeth as he says, "Yeah, I'm not giving no gold to no cheater. I don't know how, don't know when, but I know you cheated."
Hold on, I could tell you where he hid the rest of them. They're right under this cup. And uses my tail to pull down his sleeve.
As he does this, he says, "Oh, whoops."
So, 100 gold now, or 100 platinum later?
He grabs the gold and tosses it to you. "Just take it."
Thank you, kind sir.
As you leave, you do see security beginning to walk up on the man.
Which I just walk right past my pimp magic starting to fizzle out. I probably spent a lot of time.
Oh, yes, you did. Enough time to where it's beginning to turn night. There's some lights near the city, and old Nolan is currently walking into town.
Nolan?
Did you really think it would be that easy to shake me?
Eh? Uh... The drip fizzles out. I almost forgot. I'm sorry.
Unbelievable.
I need the money back. Just
Do you
proceed.
realize how much trouble you're in with the locals over there?
I mean, it can't be that bad.
When I asked about you guys, I got questioned by the local authorities.
About how good a job we did at it ratting those people out.
Far from it. They accused you of theft and asked me about your guys' motives for if you had any history of violence or crime.
Well, I can answer one of those for sure. But, I made back the money. Here. Just flutters up with the gold. For all the ale I drank.
Did you realize we already sorted that, right?
I know, but I felt bad for
Well,
having having you pay like 100 gold on it. So I'm giving you 100 gold. I'm keeping 10, but I'm giving you 100 gold I made.
And where did you get the 100 gold?
Through completely legal sources.
Hmm. How old are you again?
Depends.
Hi.
What are we going by? Because,
Well, considering you were summoned in the Feywild, how about we go with that?
well, then in human years, I'd be very legal.
I'm not asking about human years, am I?
They never asked either.
Well, that's their mistake, not mine.
Well then. Yes. I don't know, like I don't keep count of years and seasons. That's a you guys thing. I keep count of how many of those sweet treats you give me though. Lots of the big fluffies. I think like 9 so far. 9 cakes.
I'm not giving you more. If you're trying to swindle and trying to get any more.
But you give me a cake like once a season cycle.
My mind might be fogged, but I ain't feckin' stupid. No, I bloody don't.
As you begin with this very interesting conversation, you begin to notice a whole lot of the citizens going toward something just beyond the borders of the city or the town.
And
Also, because you lied, Nolan decided to show the rest of his tails, indicating that he knows you feckin' lied.
well, I mean, it was completely legal. It was completely legal. The casino is completely legal.
I'm telling Constance.
No, they're still at Betty Buys. No,
Then I'll tell them later.
please
So I am
do.
telling you then that you went into a casino and probably cheated, knowing you.
I mean, the casino itself cheats people out of their money. Why can't I?
Touche. So does the Midnight District back in the land over yonder, but still.
Why do
As
you
your
think I learned how to?
I
as your
never took you there, so shush.
as your conversations continues, you then hear it. Ladies and gentlefolk, beasts of shapes and sizes beyond our comprehensions and those within. Welcome
I guess the circus
to the
has come.
Golden. What was it called again?
Golden Brook.
Golden Brooks Circus.
How about we continue this conversation later? I think the circus would be a really good thing. We can talk about stuff later, you
You
know?
know what? And Nolan gets a ribbon, a rather sturdy one, and ties it to your tail.
What's this for?
He got
So
put
you
on a
can't
leash.
go too far.
Huh?
You're on a leash.
How dare
You really need to get him as one of those monkey backpacks that they put on toddlers.
To be fair, no one could tie the ribbon in a fashion like that.
Monkey backpack!
No. No.
And he does so.
Yes.
Child leash.
I am not something to be tamed so easily.
If Constance is asleep, this is my only way to stop you from doing something dumb.
Tis
Like
the
just
power of the
then
monkey
buy a
backpack.
bunch of ale. And it wasn't ale, it was mead. Maybe get your facts right.
Yeah, it was yummy either which way.
Mead? I feel like mead would not be that yummy though. It's not sweet.
Mead is primarily made out of honey and fruit. Ale
Yeah,
is
but the
made
honey
with
is honey's converted into alcohol, and alcohol is not sweet.
Yes, but people
I guess you could
do
re-sweeten
add
it a little
They
bit.
do add extra honey to sweeten up.
Oh, okay. Back on the list of things I'll try when I'm 21.
I'm 25. I'm 26 this year.
Old.
You see why they call me the mom friend now? Or the dad friend?
I'm 19, but I act like I'm 30 most of the time.
You're younger than most of us.
Haha.
Congratulations.
You're
being
younger than my sister.
young.
My joints still hurt all the time, so haha.
Oh god, you didn't me. Did you sprain your muscles at all when you were a young teenager?
No, but I did dislocate my kneecap.
Oh god, what is it with these? God,
I
fuck.
slipped on a shoe.
By the way, Sook, i.e. Constance's player, falls down the stairs like permanently.
Yeah, sounds about right.
So
Can't wait till I'm in a
if
house that
you're-
doesn't have stairs.
if your like mom friend mode gets activated by them, don't be alarmed. It is just them being themselves, being a clumsy
That's okay.
motherfucker.
My mom friend mode comes from being the oldest in my family, and also just
I'm
the
one
general
of the
people
eldest in
I
my
surround myself with.
family, and majority of the time I tend to be the oldest in my friend group.
Okay, we should probably get back into character. I'm sorry.
Alright, but yes.
Thing is, my character is a mom friend / dead friend.
No, I mean as in like I bet Gargax wants to get on with the story.
Yes, please. Alright.
Sorry.
As you go to the circus, plenty of people are coming with you. Some children, plenty adults, and the entry is actually cheap, I think. Just 5 silver. I think that's good.
No one attributes by giving 5 silver.
And you go in. The place is lit up as you feel something that's close to magic, but somehow better. The smell of popcorn in the air, of drinks of carbonated and flavor, as owlbears roll on trikes and balance balls, and beasts of large sizes and small doing tricks and flips. A miniature compy circus in the middle of the circus, and this and that and everything beautiful. Along with an interesting act on a human, more of a short human, balancing on a very, very buff gnome.
She has a fiddle in hand and she's playing a rather familiar, but like it's like when you go and you hear like a folk tune, but somebody's doing a spin on it. That's what she's doing.
I
Aye.
don't see many people use the fiddle these days. That
She
brings
nods
me
to
back
you.
a few thousand years.
Around her neck is what looks like a necklace made out of flowers. And then you see the necklace move. And a tiny little dragon-like lizard, I guess you could say, crawls up onto her head. Its wings look like lavender flowers.
Oh, lovely. More familiars. Looks at Sapphire going, no.
It's immediately trying to get closer.
Would
And you
Sapphire
get
be able to
pulled.
tell that the
You-
flora isn't a familiar?
Let me roll
I-
perception. Natural 1. No.
Yes.
Alright, fun stuff.
Yeah.
Sapphire does get pulled, like the child that they are behaving.
All right then. And
No.
by the time everything it begins wrapping up, everyone comes back out and begins performing one last thing when everybody everywhere gets a message, a mental message. It's desperate, fearful. Simply think, help. Help me.
Oh my.
Help me.
The girl with the fiddle immediately freezes.
I'd fucking understand.
The general area that it comes
No
from
one kind of
is the
seems
west.
almost lost in thought, but hands still firmly on the leash of which they have made for Sapphire.
She looks to the west where it came from, and she kind of slings her fiddle over her shoulder. She has like a rope, like a small string attached to it for when she doesn't have her case. And she kind of tucks the bow back into the back of her corset and just runs.
I want
Or
to follow.
walks. Power walks.
I'm trying to follow.
Okay, I'll follow. Fine, we will go, but you do not drag me. Do I make myself clear?
Fine.
So she takes kind of the back exit out of the circus tent, kind of through almost like a tunnel of fabric, connecting it to wherever the exit is.
So, by the way, Nolan at this point has like 5 tails. He'd almost look like an attraction if he wasn't a paying customer.
Yeah. Do I know they're following me? Or does she know they're following her?
you can-
Roll me. Okay, what's your passive perception?
15.
Yes, you do know that at least 3 people are following you. One member of the
3.
yeah, 3 members. Yeah, 3 people. Sapphire Nolan along with one person from the crowd. He seems to be an adventurer.
She
Okay.
kind of turns around at the kind of back entrance and is like, I'm sorry, this is employees only.
Never stopped me before.
She sees Sapphire and is immediately like, "Oh my gosh, you're adorable."
Yeah.
She kind of comes over distracted just a little bit and is like just admiring.
Do you face squish me? Because I don't fight it.
She would like offer like a hand, like for like a chin, like an under, like you would with a cat, like under the chin.
Because Nolan does have a tree form. I can show it to you.
I do
Because
let
that
them.
is what's being shown right now.
Oh, yes, please. That would also probably impact her response.
I do let them do the scritchy on my facey.
Sweet. She's like, I'm Fawn. What's your name?
I'm Sapphire. Yeah.
And she kind of like picks up the flora from her head and is like, Lily, look. Lily can't talk.
And just wait, what?
I don't think so. Gargax, can Flora talk?
No, floras are essentially wild animals. They're one of the
Yeah.
species of dragon that are, well, just animals. There are more sentient dragons, again, copper dragons, black dragons, but these dragons are simply animals.
She kind of holds out Flora. She's like 5 inches long on her hand and is like, he's bigger than you.
Is a baby.
Flora kind of just has her not Flora, Lily kind of has her tail wrapped around Fawn's wrist as she stands up there, and then Fawn remembers that she's supposed to be like chasing a voice and like turns, but then also notices the person that the pseudo dragon is attached to and is like, oh, I guess it's fine. You've got this guy, like.
I can burn people.
Character looks. Can
You
you just
said that she-
imagine this image but with more tails?
Oh, sweet. Okay. She's like, whoa, you're pretty cool looking too. And she's like, I have to go. And she runs off.
We can help you. if
She
you
runs
want.
through the. I'm not entirely sure what I'm looking for, and I don't know you.
The
You
large
get the sense
man.
that she's pretty
You
young. She's a
either, but-
teenager.
I
The
don't
lar-
know you either, but you're young and wandering into the woods after a scream. I'd really rather you not get killed.
And the large man
She
steps up.
just. Oh,
And not to mention that I cannot say much for this stranger, but I am definitely one to be feared when it comes to my enemies. So I can be of great assistance, especially in a treacherous area such as this.
Fawn kind of looks at them, and she's got these big round eyes. And you get the sense that she has like zero self-preservation and survival instinct, has never really been in true danger before. And she just like shrugs and is like, okay. And
The thing is,
starts walking.
Nolan is a druid and basically the healer of that party. So he's just like, child is wandering to a scream that we don't know if it's a mimic type of scream or if it's real. And I'd really
yeah,
rather
she's-
her not get eaten by a monster.
She's walking, and you can see tied to like the back of her belt is a curled up whip. Presumably for an act, but it could be used as a weapon if need be.
They usually do about the same amount of damage anyway.
Yeah.
Alright, so you head west for a while, quite deep into the woods, up until you see on the one of the very few actually decently solid parts of land is an entrance to a mine. Somehow. The mine just goes straight down and is very deep.
She pauses and looks down, kind of squinting because it's kind of dark and she doesn't have dark vision.
I'm getting Fae
Stupid
vibes.
Human. Stupid human. I forget I'm not an elf. No dark vision. Meh.
There is
Sleepy
a ladder heading down.
She will test the top rung of the ladder with the tip of her boot.
It is a little creaky, but is strong enough to hold your weight.
And she's like, okay. And again,
Oh,
Zero.
I have dark vision though. I have dark vision, so I can guide.
Yeah, Zero Fear begins to climb down. Like,
I do cast dancing lights.
Careful not to blind people, dear.
She looks around and she's like, oh gosh, it does magic.
It's mostly a very
I'm
straight
kind
shot
of just
down for a good
babysitting
50
it.
feet.
It's not really mine. If you promise to behave, I will untie the ribbon from you.
I'll promise to behave as much as is the parameters of this area will let.
Fine. Misbehave once and it's going back off.
No.
She is like kind of you get the feeling that Fawn is feeling a little bit of main character syndrome, like has read too many books, and is like, aha, adventure.
Oh no.
But yeah, so they.
As you go down, the mine is fairly good. Pickaxes line the walls, mine carts filled with rocks, coal, and other materials. And it goes much, much deeper. Do y'all continue?
Heckin' yes.
Yeah.
I'm probably gonna have to go. Sorry.
Alright.
Good night.
Goodbye.
Night night.
I need to prepare for what I have to do tomorrow. Which, Gargax, let's just say I have a little treat.
Uh-oh.
That you may or may not be ready for.
Alright. Okay.
Leaves.
Alright, so I'm going to say that Nolan, within the expansion of the mine, goes down one wrong passageway and ends up getting lost. But since Nolan was at the back of the group, y'all don't really
but
notice.
By pure sheer freaking luck.
Yep.
No, yeah.
As y'all go quite a bit deeper, you end up seeing something. Kobolds, as they're trying to mine out a large section of rock. There looks like to be a solid 8 of them, all just trying to chip away at a large rock in front of them, with one hole right in the middle.
Features and traits. Just looking at her languages.
They speak common.
Oh, okay. She kind of pauses briefly, because that's what you're supposed to do when you walk up on a group of people you don't know. And like kind of like sticks to, like, hides behind a really tall stalagmite.
No, this isn't a cave. This is literally just a mine.
Oh, it's a mine.
Section of rock
She hides behind a wall, or like anything she could find to like kind of duck behind.
All right, so there is a mine cart.
Yeah, she climbs in it.
All right. They do seem to be very insistent on trying to get this wall down, along with hearing something beyond it.
This proceeds to go up to the Cobalt and just like, you guys okay? In Draconic.
One of the kobolds turn around, almost blinding you with his light before turning down. We are a bit busy. Wait, you spellcaster?
Yeah?
Great. Can you make this rock wall go bye-bye, explodey, disappeary, whatever?
Does it look kind of loose?
It's a solid foot in length, and the only reason they were able to get through the centerpiece is because the centerpiece was made of a slightly softer rock that they were able to dig through.
But it's somewhat loose in the middle because they've been digging.
Yes.
I excavate all the loose rock I can with molder.
Alright. As you do, you get a passageway that's just probably big enough to fit everybody, along with the taller gentleman ducking.
Mm.
Oh
Each
yeah,
of
I
them,
forgot that guy was there.
each of them, each of the kobolds tries to move in, but immediately backing out.
Fawn sticks her head in to see what's up.
With a light behind them as I move a dancing lights in.
There you see an interesting sight. First, you see some sort of zombie-ish, a cowboy with a revolver and a knife in one hand, fighting alongside a kobold with a pickaxe, very much losing against, well, it's hard to describe it. But a good description would be a dragonborn. Nothing but its bones are left. Large front fangs appear like a vampire's, and glowing green eyes. They seem to have quite a bit of
Can
trouble with this lich.
can Fawn tell who was crying for help? If they're here.
Yes, it was most definitely the kobolds.
Okay. She is going to duck back around the wall and freak out a little bit because she did not. She kind of signed up for this, but she didn't know that this was what she was signing up for.
Considering, yeah.
As you do that, the gentleman steps forward very calmly. The creature just stops and looks at him, as both the kobold and the zombie look at each other. And they bolt for the exit. Sapphire, you do recognize the zombie as Billy, as as the kobold only gets away only for a green chain to appear around his neck, pulling him back and dropping him.
I can counterspell.
As you do, the chain breaks and shatters. Still, the magical items is around his neck, still glowing, but quickly dissipates. And he then bolts out of the mine, as the skeleton and mysterious person simply eye each other down.
Just like,
Yeah, human, you don't want to be here. That is Billy. That's a bad guy. Like, badder than you.
Oh no, Billy is gone. He's bolted out of that mine.
And considering that Billy was afraid of this one, you might want to go a little bit. I don't think you. Yeah, let's just,
I'm
Big
afraid I
Sir.
can't. After all, when you make a mess, don't you clean it up?
I have no idea what that means, but you want me to block this off behind you, or you want me to leave this open?
Leave it open for now.
All
Well
right.
then.
You might want to see this, human. Small human.
I'm sorry.
You might not want to see what happens next, smaller human.
Fawn, like, she's kind of, well, so she's ducked back into the other room, like, and she's she's like whenever she saw the zombie and the lich, she like immediately left, like went back through the hole and hid in the other room.
Yeah, just like seeing that you're not there anymore, and just kind of like, because I also have fucking dark vision, just kind of sees, flies back over to you, and proceeds to be therapy. Just like goes into your lap.
She's sitting up with like her back against the wall. Her knees are tucked up to like her chest, and then her little dragon friend is like she's doing her best, man, but she tiny. What can little flower dragon do?
Hey, it okay. I have magic. I protect. Okay?
She just kind of like nods faintly.
You hear the two
What?
begin to
What?
talk. You protect them. I see. You have grown weaker, just as I thought. And you had grown insane. I saw potential in you all those over 1,000 years ago. Fortunately, my ambitions far overtook what I could do. Oh no. Your ambitions exactly what got me here. With your vampirism, I was actually able to live much longer. Even with my lifespan, I was near the end of it. But with these, as the Dragonborn points to the fangs, I could live many, many years longer. And if it wasn't for your generous library, I would have never found how to turn myself into a lich. I should have killed you a long time ago. But you were far too late. I should have left you to kill that thing. Of course. But you didn't. So, as they say, the student shall kill the master. Not today. As both draw
Oh no, he's a Sith.
essentially, as both draw their blades and begin to clash, imbuing magic into it, clashing. His robe quickly flies off, revealing himself not to be a human or even an elf, but an elder vampire. As
Fawn immediately like backs away because she knows, like, she has had dealings with vampires. She immediately gets farther away from the hole.
The battle continues with little attention toward you. Do you leave or do you watch?
She'll watch.
The battle goes on for a while, each one attempting to stab a vital point, but neither succeeding. While the vampire is fluent, he's not as fast as the skeleton. Eventually, a dagger goes toward his heart.
I would like to just flashbang the fucker. Basically, it pregnancy eggs immediately in front of their eyes. The
All right.
skeletons.
As you do, he immediately steps back. Looking up, it says one word. Well, technically two. Maki Maki,
Huh?
you're
Hold on.
alive.
Now I gotta. That's 4. Now I gotta roll. Now I gotta roll shit. Because now I gotta see if this is actually. You're putting stuff. You're putting some dangerous stuff out here. Holy shit, that's 100. Yep. 5% chance. Yep. Doesn't know it. But yep. 5%.
As the lights quickly fade, its smile, well, what you could sense was a smile, simply dissipates and says, "You're no Maki Maki." But it was enough time, as the vampire uses a dagger and stabs the dragonborn in its skull, cracking it. And with that, magic chains binds the skull together, as the skull simply floats, unable to open its maw. It thrashes about. He, the vampire backs up. Pseudo dragon, mold earth now!
Which immediately does so, just. Not a second thought. I don't know this guy. Wall.
Okay, human. Okay, human. It's time to go.
Fawn is once again hiding in the minecart.
Human, this isn't one of those times to play those human games. It's time to go.
She climbs out and follows you without question.
Which I
The
do
other
have
vampire
dancing
follows.
lights. Which I do have dancing lights go and make a good.
What is it, Gargax?
The vampire follows.
Okay.
Which I do make a line of dancing lights, which each time we pass one, it dissipates. Put a new one way from her head. Just a line of light, basically.
Yeah. She's following she's kind of like looking at the vampire, trying to see if she recognizes him from anyone who might know her family. But kind of just keeps her head down and goes. She can't really see much even through the dancing lights, so she's just going.
Soon enough, you do reach the entrance and you climb up and exit. The vampire looks at
Immediately lays flat in the grass.
The vampire looks at you, Sapphire, and says, You use mold earth, anything to close this entrance up."
I'm pretty sure it'll go through dirt, but it might not go through this.
I would like to try to collapse it with a lightning bolt.
A lightning bolt.
Yeah, I cast lightning bolt.
All
Another
right.
3rd level, but at this point, it's well used.
Alright, the mine is decently held together, although most of the supports are wooden. With the lightning, it'll all burn to the ground. The rock will become unstable, and even a simple hand pressing up against a stone could easily dislodge a single little pebble holding it all up.
And just once the things are on fire, just yell into there, just like,
Sorry, just in case, coupons. This is going down.
Oh no, all the kobolds exited the mine.
yeah, that's just to anyone that's still in there.
Alright, and as the mine comes crumbling down, the vampire breathes a sigh of relief. Crap. He turns to Fawn and says, human. Are
She
you...
looks up.
I have two questions. One, are you okay? Are you okay?
So you got 2 chapters left in your book. Let's go. Put your shoes on, clothes on, brush your teeth, and get to bed. Clothes in the washer. If I don't get back up soon to get them, I need you to put them in the dryer. But it's got your 2 new shirts on that need to be hung up and hung up on your hanger.
What do you say?
That's not what I come tell you. The dogs.
Oh,
all 3.
she just kind of like nods. She's like, not dead, that's for sure.
Good. He stands up and says, "Alright then. I don't think that'll hold it for long. But it'll hold it for a little bit."
She stands up and like just starts walking back towards the circus tent. She's like, my goal is to get out of here and act like I don't know nobody.
If you ever want some other kind of fun, and you don't want to be in the ground one anymore, I have a friend group. If you're staying here for a little bit.
She pauses and kind of looks back at him and is like, you know what? She kind of thinks over, like looks back at the circus tent for a minute, and you see kind of an unreadable expression come across her face, and then she just kind of makes a well, what the heck, like motion with her hands and walks back over to you.
I'll see you by either coffin at the afternoon, maybe 3.
All right, sounds like a plan.
Alright, as Sapphire disappears into the... As Sapphire returns to the tent, the vampire holds you, Fawn, back. 1 second, child.
I actually go back into the area because I'm gonna get Nolan and just disappear into the cave.
Alright.
She turns back to the vampire. Who are you, by the way? I've seen you come to a couple of our shows while we've
What can
been
I
here.
say? I'm a fan of entertainment. But I think you know me from somewhere else. Please make me a history check.
Smile immediately drops. Yeah, sure. I need to make a history check?
Yes, to remember where you remember him from.
Cool. Where's my... I'm... There it is. What? Okay. Hold on, I gotta make this full screen. Okay, there we go. History. Oh, that's a 5. A natural 1 plus 4.
Oh, that's bad.
Ooh.
You don't remember. But he simply smiles and pulls out a pendant. A pendant given out by your family to customers.
My, like, smile immediately, like the like kind of neutral expression that I had on kind of darkens a little bit. Where her neutral expression kind of darkens a little bit, and she's just like,
Oh,
all right then.
but do not worry. I keep it as a trophy. Tell me, I believe you were around the age of 5 or 6 when I had betrayed your family in a illegal monster trade. You wouldn't happen to remember that, would you?
I remember what my dad did when he found out.
Ugh, he was something.
I like turn away. Like he can like she's not very good at hiding her emotions. She's like pissed.
Speaking of which, what are you doing here? I didn't think I would ever see the daughter of nobility living in a circus.
My preferred. She kind of like pauses, kind of looks at the circus and looks back at him and is like, that's none of your business.
He gives a soft smile and says, well, we all have secrets we keep hidden, for others or for ourselves. He puts a pendant back in his pocket. Do not fear. I will not tell your family. It's obvious you have long since left of who they are. And with that,
She just
I say this. You will always have if you ever need help, perhaps a money problem with the law, or even just help with anything, you can always find me at the Town of Dusk.
let me write that down. What's your name?
My name. Wow. Really been that long. You can call me Vlad.
Okay. I was gonna say if he didn't give her a name, she'd say, "I'm just gonna call you Dracula."
Ah. Well, as you laugh, he laughs too. Yeah. Pretty funny, right? But it's the
No, I
only.
don't think any of our family's very creative. Apparently, I was named after a baby deer because that's the first thing my mom saw after she had me.
At least you still remember your true name.
Yeah, you're right. I should probably come up with a new one. Thoughts for another day.
But anyways, he begins walking back to the circus. Tell me, does your family need any financial support? I'll gladly help.
No, they're doing fine for themselves. She kind of like shifts, seeming almost uncomfortable with the talking about the circus or the
Him
business of the circus.
noticing changes the subject. I must say, that is a beautiful flora you have.
She's been with me for a while.
That is nice. As he continues this small talk, all the way back to the tent, as the moon is at its highest, we end the game. As everything is beginning to rest and cool down from everything that had happened, as the new day begins to end, so does the end of a peaceful era. So, what did y'all think?
It's so nice to be playing. I have only played as a player 3 times. The rest of the time I've dungeon mastered, so it's very nice to be playing.
Don't say it out loud, it might jinx you.
Yeah.
Knocks on wood.
By the way, Sapphire, wouldn't you
Mhm.
you wouldn't happen to remember, would you?
About which and what? There's a lot of things to remember.
Just curious if that little encounter sparked any memories.
A faint.
No,
It has a flickering one.
no, not your character. For you.
Yeah, no, I'm saying it has a flickering one for me.
Oh,
I remember the Lich dude.
Eh.
right.
Yeah.
Right, Vaughn. You know him in his current form, but the players remember him in a little
Oh.
different light.
Anyway, Vlad is in my notes now as Vampire Vlad, man with the money.
Yeah, that's basically him.
Yeah.
Alright then. For everyone who's listening, thank you for tuning in, and I hope everybody has a fantastic day, night, dusk, or dawn. See you later.
See ya.
Goodbye.